Are you the sort of person that really looks forward to a lay-in on their day off so you can get some shut-eye? Or the sort of person that gets annoyed with noisy neighbours partying in the wee hours because you want to get some sleep? If the answer is yes, then this movie may be a living nightmare for you. We are talking about the 2013 movie Dark Circles, directed by Paul Soter. The story here focuses on a couple who want to move to the country to bring up their young son to get away from the hustle and bustle of busy city life. They have a beautiful house, but what they don't realise is they're about to be disturbed from both the mundane, through the various building works that are going on next door that they weren't aware of when they bought the house, to the seemingly supernatural. Is there a malevolent presence in the house that seemingly wants to cause them harm? Or are they just kind of absolutely so tired they are imagining things? Or is it something else entirely? So let's talk about what worked and didn't work with Dark Circles. So we'll talk about the good stuff first. I feel, first of all, the acting here is very good. The two leads, two parents, basically do a good job of really seeming like a genuine couple, first of all. And that always helps. And as the movie progresses, they're getting tireder and more tired, and to the point of pure exhaustion. And then it really helps that they have some great camera work here as well, and kind of ways to kind of demonstrate these guys are so tired. They are just bumbling their way through life at this point in time. So you really kind of get the sense that these guys are kind of almost having a descent into madness, and it's purely brought on by just the tiredness that these guys are feeling. So both the acting and the direction here to really kind of demonstrate that, I thought was very, very good. But also there's some fantastic jump scares in this movie. If you're not a fan of jump scares, then you may want to look away now, because this film loves them. So there's quite a few jump scares, and some of them are quite effective, I've got to say. Some of them are a little cheap, and I feel maybe overdoes it a little bit sometimes, but there are some pretty good ones here as well, and some kind of quite original scares. And I kind of quite like the almost the reverse that you've seen in some films. I think sometimes you see in these kind of films where you kind of question, is there something really going on, or are these guys mad? You kind of think, oh, they're kind of mad first of all, but as the film progresses, you learn that maybe there is a real kind of evil there. This one you're not really so sure, because it gives you evidence for both throughout the film. So towards the end, and when you see things happen, you are questioning and think, is this really real? Is this actually something happening, or are these guys actually just imagining it now? So it's quite fun, and the actual reveal of what happens will keep you kind of guessing. So what didn't work? I've got to say this is a somewhat effective, but it is a somewhat generic film as well. I feel although it kind of works as a horror film, it's not one you're going to probably remember or be too inclined to kind of want to rewatch again at kind of maybe until a much later date and you've forgotten all about it. I think, like I've mentioned, with the jump scares, it relies a little bit too heavily on them, and there are elements of it kind of, okay, you know, you'd rather kind of see it maybe build up a little bit more tension. I feel the reveal of what happens is a little bit it's a little bit of a cheap way out, and it's the way it's kind of revealed to you, it relies a little bit too much on exposition. And when you think about it, well, I can't really spoil it for you, but when you've watched this film in its entirety and you think about what you have seen, there is a scene at the beginning of the film that do not make sense. There's also some logic issues here. But I've got to say, overall, this is a somewhat enjoyable film. If you like a pretty good horror film that is well made, well directed, it's just not particularly memorable or going to kind of blow your socks off, but with decent performances, you know, pretty good effects and some quite good scares here and there, it's worth a watch. I would say it's probably an above average horror film, but you're probably not going to have it in your favourite top 10 horror movies of all time. Nothing like that. I'll give this movie a solid 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me comments, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.